为什么想要做这份工作？你可以配合加班吗？你的期望薪资是多少呢
？Hey there, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. In the previous episode, we've watched together the first part of a mock-up job interview and have learned how to introduce yourself, including your name, your education, your strengths and weaknesses. Today we're going to introduce more questions that are common in a Chinese job interview and how to answer them. If you haven't watched the previous episode, you can click on the link above and watch it first. For you who have watched it, let's refresh your memory by watching the first part of the mock-up interview again. Of course, without the caption, there won't be any captions in a real-life interview.
你好，
你好，请坐。简单介绍一下你自己。
我叫雷娜，南加州大学毕业，学的是市场营销专业。我喜欢阅读和跑步。
你没有相关工作经验，是吗？
是的，我刚毕业，没有正式工作经验。不过我在广告公司实习过1年。
你有哪些优点？
我是个有团队精神的人，学习能力很强。我也是个积极主动的人。
你有哪些缺点？
我的缺点是我的中文不够好。
I guess you can follow the dialogues now, can't you? Well, if not, it's okay. Just watch the previous episode again. When learning something new, it's always better to review for a few times to reinforce your memory. Well, unless you're a genius. Before we continue, let's introduce some words that are related to a job interview. 面试. 面 refers to face, while 试 means test or exam. So a face-to-face test is a job interview. And yes, there are phone interviews nowadays. To say a phone interview, you simply add phone before 面试 and you get 电话面试. And we call the interviewer in a job interview 面试官. Guan means officer. Since interviewers are the ones in charge in a job interview, I'm sure you get why. Now we're going to watch the other half of the mock-up interview. Of course, it's impossible that the 面试官 only asks you to introduce yourself in a 面试. That'd be way too easy. There's got to be more difficult questions to answer. Let's find out in the following clips.
你为什么想要做这份工作？
我看过职位描述，觉得这份工作非常适合我。我相信我在这份工作中可以发挥所长。
你可以配合加班吗？
有需要的话，我可以配合加班。
你为什么想要做这份工作？ It literally means why do you want to do this job? 工作 job or work. It's a verb and also a noun. 份 is a major word. It is used for a serving, a set, or any amount of something that are allocated or assigned in advance. It can be used on many nouns like jobs, food, papers, magazines, or gifts. If you remember, we used this word to order a serving of dumplings in one of our earlier videos. 我要一份水饺. I would like a serving of dumplings. 做这份工作. Do this job. 想要 want. Here you can say 想要做这份工作 or 想做这份工作. It's the same meaning. 你为什么想要做这份工作? Is also a common question in the job interview in China. Let's watch again how Reina answers this question.
我看过职位描述，觉得这份工作非常适合我。我相信我在这份工作中可以发挥所长。
我看过职位描述 I've read the job description. 职位 position， 职位描述 job description。我看过职位描述，觉得这份工作非常适合我。I think the job is perfect for me. 适合 is both an adjective meaning suitable and a verb to suit. 这份工作非常适合我。It literally means this job suits me well, or this job is very suitable for me. 适合 can be used to describe many things, including objects and relationships. For example, 这件衣服很适合我。This clothes is suitable for me. Or 它很适合你。He is suitable for you, meaning you two are a good match. 觉得 means to feel or to think, depending on the context. For example, 我觉得冷。I feel cold. Or 我觉得这件衣服很好看。I think this clothes looks good. 我相信我在这份工作中可以发挥所长。This sentence is long, but don't be scared. It's not so difficult. Let's break it down into shorter phrases. 发挥 is to bring out some quality or capability. 发挥所长 is a formal phrase. Literally means to bring out what someone can. You see, in a job interview, using some formal idioms or phrases will leave the interviewer with a good impression. You want to be a little bit formal to look professional, but not too formal as to look like a boring person. 我可以发挥所长。I can bring out my capability, which means make the best use of my skills. Now that we've taken down the hardest phrase, I'm sure everything else will be easy for you. 我在这份工作中可以发挥所长。Remember in the previous episode we said the location goes before a verb in Chinese. So we place 在这份工作中 before 可以发挥所长。相信 believe 我相信我在这份工作中可以发挥所长。I believe I can make the best use of my skills in this job. Of course, to answer the question, 你为什么想要做这份工作? You may want to fill in more details about why the position is appealing to you and what skills you have that make you a perfect candidate for the job. How to answer the question more specifically depends on what position you are applying for. I'll leave that to you.
你可以配合加班吗？
有需要的话，我可以配合加班。
你可以配合加班吗？ Are you available to work overtime? 配合 is to cooperate or to adjust for something or someone. For example, when you are making an appointment with someone and you think your time is more flexible, you can say 我可以配合你的时间。It's a common expression meaning I can move my schedule to fit yours. 你可以配合加班吗？ Can you cooperate in working overtime? Well, for big cities in China like Beijing or Shanghai, it's very common for the employers to expect their employees to work overtime. There's even a new term, 996, 996, referring to the phenomenon of working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. It's especially popular among internet companies like Alibaba. So if the 面试官 asks you, 你可以配合加班吗? It means they expect you to work overtime. You don't want to say no if you still want the job. 有需要的话，我可以配合加班。I can work overtime when it is needed. 需要 need. 有需要的话 is a common clause in oral expression. It is often placed before a sentence to say something is feasible if or when it is needed. For example, if you're taking a leave and you're worried that your colleagues might need you when you're away, you can say 有需要的话，你可以打电话给我。Call me if needed.
你的期望薪资是多少呢？
月薪1万。
你的期望薪资是多少呢？ It literally means how much is your expected salary. 薪资 salary is more formal than 薪水. When negotiating one's salary, it's better to use 薪资 rather than 薪水. Just like you won't say in an interview, how much you will pay me. 期望 expect. 多少 how much or how many. 多 means much or many, and 少 means less or few. Combining the two means how much or how many. That's easy, isn't it? 呢 is a particle used at the end of a sentence to emphasize a question or a statement. It's not necessary if it is used in a complete sentence. In this sentence, by adding ne, the tone is a little bit like the English question beginning with how about or what about. 你的期望薪资是多少呢? How about your salary expectations? If the question begins with 为什么, why, by adding ne in the end, the speaker emphasizes more on the question why. For example, 你为什么不喜欢他呢? Why don't you like him? It's the same as 你为什么不喜欢他? Maybe the speaker thinks the man is handsome and it doesn't make sense that his or her friends does not like him. By using 呢, 你为什么不喜欢他呢? The speaker emphasizes on why. Why don't you like him? So the speaker could say, 他很帅呢. He's handsome. Here, 呢 is to emphasize the fact that the man is handsome. Are these examples helpful for you to understand more about 呢? 月薪1万, a monthly salary of 10,000. 1. 10,000. The yuan is eliminated here. 月薪 monthly salary. Note that in China, it's more common to settle on a monthly salary rather than a yearly pay. If you're concerned with it, you may ask about the company's policy on the year-end bonus, 年终奖金.
你什么时候可以开始上班？
下周一。
好的，你被录取了，下周一来报到。
你什么时候可以开始上班? When can you start working? 上班 to work or to go to work. You can say 我在上班 when you are working in the office. And 我要去上班了 when you leave your house for work. 开始 start. 什么时候 when. Is what we say in Chinese to show that we are thinking. It's like or well in English. 下周一 next Monday. You can also say 下星期一。好的，你被录取了。Very well, you are hired. It's what we want to hear most in the job interview, isn't it? Well, yeah, normally you don't hear this in the job interview. But I want to share with you how to say you're hired. 录取 to accept an applicant. It can be used in a job recruit or a school admission. A verb following 被 is a passive voice. Please note that passive voice is not so common compared to active voice. Only certain verbs can be turned into a passive voice. We will talk more about it in the future. 了 is a modal particle that indicates the change of state or a new situation. For example, when a man becomes angry, you can say 他生气了. It implies that he wasn't angry a moment ago. 下周一来报到. Report to work next Monday. 报到 check in. Here it means to report to work. 来 to come. So literally it is come and report to work next Monday.
你为什么想要做这份工作？
我看过职位描述，觉得这份工作非常适合我。 我相信我在这份工作中可以发挥所长。
你可以配合加班吗？
有需要的话，我可以配合加班。
你的期望薪资是多少呢？
月薪1万。
你什么时候可以开始上班？
下周一。
好的，你被录取了，下周一来报到。
That's all for today's Business Chinese. I hope you find it helpful. And don't forget to review what you learned today. We will make a mock-up listening test based on these 2 episodes about the job interview. We will post an announcement on our Facebook fan page and our Instagram when it comes out. Let me know in the comments what subject you would like to know more about for Business Chinese. Subscribe our channel and turn on the notification. I'm Reina from Mandarin Max. See you next time. 下次见。